Why is it that an awakened sage, whose mind has touched the shores of absolute peace, remains powerless to extinguish the agony of his own mortal flesh? The chilling answer does not lie in the present. It is buried within a single, minuscule grain of salt, lost in the abyss of 1,000 lifetimes. Dear seekers of truth, in the suffocating pitch black of an ancient Indian forest, a heavy, ragged breath echoes through a desolate stone cave. This is no ordinary gasp of a mortal terrified of death. This is the shuddering endurance of a sovereign saint, silently wrestling with the visceral, gut-wrenching agony. He is an Arhat, a master who has scaled the ultimate peak of awakening, extinguishing the fires of rebirth. Yet, in a cruel paradox, his perishable vessel is tormented by an unrelenting, bone-shattering affliction in his stomach. Why is it that an awakened sage, whose mind has touched the shores of absolute peace, remains powerless to extinguish the agony of his own mortal flesh? The chilling answer does not lie in the present. It is buried within a single, minuscule grain of salt, lost in the abyss of 1,000 lifetimes. In the profound stillness of samadhi, the Venerable slightly opens his eye of wisdom. He casts a piercing light upstream through the infinite river of samsara. Piercing through the fog of countless reincarnations, he beholds his former self. There, an emaciated young novice monk tends to a soot-stained hearth in an ancient monastery. He tastes a humble bowl of vegetable broth. It lacks flavor. And then a veil of ignorance descends. A fleeting, almost imperceptible whisper of greed awakens in that innocent mind. Glancing over his shoulder, he dips his hand into the Sangha's salt jar. He takes just a pincher, tiny fraction of salt and secretly places it on his tongue, without seeking permission. Just a smack of the lips, a fleeting, salty taste, unseen by any eye, unrebuked by any elder. But little did that naive novice know. The moment that salt slid down his throat, he signed a brutal decree, condemning his physical form to millennia of torment. Dear friends, why is the cosmic law so mercilessly strict? For a mere pinch of salt. Let us quiet our minds to grasp this profound truth. That jar of salt did not belong to one man. It was the property of the 10 directions. It was the sacred asset of the Sangha. When you borrow from one person, you owe one person. You can find them to repay it. But the assets of the monastery are forged from the blood, sweat, and tears of the devout poor, from the starving farmer who skipped a meal to offer alms to the divine. To take a pinch of that salt is to write a debt to millions of sentient beings across the cosmos. How can such a colossal, invisible debt ever be repaid? A silent, trivial transgression blossomed into a cancerous tumor of karma, taking root in his very soul, leaving a devastating legacy across countless rebirths. Returning to the moss-covered cave, the Arhat presses a frail hand to his chest, suppressing a soul-piercing pang. His mind has attained liberation. It has extinguished all worldly attachments. It knows no suffering. But this borrowed vessel of flesh and bone must balance the ultimate cosmic ledger. This is the residual karma, the final debt lingering on the mortal garment. He uses no miracles to escape. He utters no complaint. Amidst the flesh-tearing agony, his eyes radiate a sublime, absolute equanimity. He smiles, embracing the torment, because he knows With this final spasm of pain, the earthly debt is severed. He is simply sweeping his mortal house clean, before smiling into final nirvana, leaving this broken shell behind to step into the eternal, traceless void. Closing this tear-stained chapter of spiritual history, the darkness recedes, making way for the light of awakening. Standing before the mirror of karma, let us gather 3 precious jewels to guide our own spiritual journey in this lifetime. Lesson 1. Beware the casual mind, the most subtle enemy of peace. The universe knows no trivialities. A tiny spark can reduce a majestic forest to ashes. A pinch of salt casually slipping through one's fingers can forge chains of suffering for 1,000 lifetimes. Practice this today. Do not wait until you commit a grave sin to feel fear. Cultivate mindfulness in the smallest of deeds. Before taking what is not yours, even a sheet of paper or a drop of water from the collective pores, seek permission. That conscious clarity is the armor protecting your spiritual merit from invisible leaks. Lesson 2. The crushing weight of the universal debt. Public property, or the assets of the sacred, does not belong to an individual. It is the sweat and tears of countless sentient beings. Borrow from one, you owe one. But exploit the collective, and you plant a debt with millions of souls across heaven and earth. Practice this today. Better to endure hardship, better to live austerely, than to covet a single thread that is not rightfully yours. If you have casually taken from your workplace or community in the past, give back manifold through charity or by offering to the Sangha. Silently dedicate that merit to sever the karmic ties of the past. It is the fastest way to cut the cords of karmic retribution. Lesson 3. Healing through repentance and acceptance. The Dharma does not teach us to flee from consequence, but to face it with a sovereign mind. The Arhat, despite his agonizing pain, smiled to welcome his torment as a final payment before entering nirvana. Practice this today. If your current life is cornered by illness, betrayal, or despair, do not curse the heavens. Open your heart and whisper, I joyfully embrace this adversity to cleanse the karmic debts of my past. In that single spark of profound acceptance, psychological agony dissolves, making way for an abyssal peace. Dear friends, amidst the deafening noise of the world outside, your presence here, listening in stillness to these final moments, proves a deep spiritual root planted lifetimes ago. Gem Wisdom is profoundly grateful for your mindful energy. The Buddha taught, of all the lights, the light of the Dharma is the brightest. Of all the gifts, the gift of truth is the most supreme. If the story of the grain of salt has touched your heart today, helping you shed an invisible burden, let this resonance become an act of compassion. Please hit the like button and share this video with your loved ones. Perhaps your single share will quietly illuminate a path for someone out there, awakening them in time to avoid future suffering. Subscribe to the channel and ring the little bell to join a global community of souls seeking stillness, walking together on the journey of transforming karma every day. And before you leave, let the algorithm of the universe register this moment of awakening. Leave a comment below. I vow to live in mindfulness and cherish every connection. This is not just a comment. It is a sacred vow to your own conscience. Gem Wisdom will read every word and dedicate this pure merit to you and your family. Let us close today's reflection with this thought. Life is an echo. What you send out comes back. May you and all sentient beings find eternal peace, extinguish all sorrow, and bloom a radiant smile amidst the impermanence of life. Farewell with folded hands, until we meet again in the next quiet space of the soul.